Three groups have issued a travel advisory warning tourists not to go to Florida. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The NAACP over the weekend issued a travel advisory for Florida, joining two other civil rights groups in warning potential tourists that recent laws and policies championed by Governor Ron DeSantis and Florida lawmakers are openly hostile toward African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ individuals. Three groups, the NAACP, an advocate for Black Americans, joined the League of United Latin American Citizens, a Latino civil rights organization, and Equality Florida, a gay rights advocacy group, in issuing travel advisory for the Sunshine State, where tourism is one of the state's largest job sectors. More than 137.5 million tourists visited Florida last year. Tourism supports 1.6 million full-time and part-time jobs, and visitors spent $98.8 billion in Florida in 2019, which was the last year's figures are available. And they're now saying that DeSantis at this point is destroying Florida and is a terrible governor and would make a worse president if he ever gets elected. They said that Trump is bad, but this man is 10 times worse. The largest tourist puller is Disney, and they are now canceling and shutting down projects that would have generated billions and billions of dollars in Florida. Florida citizens, you're going to suffer as long as this continues. The opposition People's National Party in Jamaica is calling for a delay in the implementation of salary increase to parliamentarians until the outstanding issue related to other public servants are resolved. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark last Tuesday announced massive increase in pay for the political directorate. The opposition had initially indicated in the House that it had no issue with the increase, but a day later, after howls of protest from members of the public, the PNP released a statement saying it strongly disagrees with the level of increase. The increase shows Andrew Holness's salary moving from some 9 million to 25 million, and the rest scale ranges from a low of 17 million to 23 million at the highest end, a $6 million difference. And while all this is going on, poor police probably, their raise is only probably about $2,000 increase. The opposition is also calling for them to suspend the raise, but the government is saying no way, it cannot be done. Scores of angry Jamaicans are protested Friday and some yesterday, and there should be more protests today at Emancipation Park, St. Andrew, against the significant salary increase given to the political directorate. Chanting "We want justice," the more than 100 protests on Friday called for a reversal of the pay hike. They described the increase as inequitable and unjust. This level of increase is shameful, disgraceful, and unacceptable, and when it seems as if it is carefully orchestrated, then it goes into the matter of being immoral, one protester said, as he insisted that the government needs to roll it back. Well, Nigel Clark said they can't roll it back, so they just have to eat it and sup it. In the meantime, opposition leader Mark Golding said that crime continues to plague Jamaicans as he commented on the latest declaration of states of emergency for St. James and Hanover, as well as Clarendon. Speaking with the media on Thursday following a tour of southwest Clarendon, Mr. Golding said he had not seen much evidence of the state of emergency curbing crime in that parish. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has said that the shooting of 4 men in Bogue Village in Montego Bay, St. James, less than 24 hours after the state of emergency was declared, is another example of the determination of criminals to carry out their unlawful act. Dr. Chang said that the police are investigating whether the incident at a gaming outlet, which left 2 men dead, is a reprisal for a murder in Bogue on Monday. In that incident, 42-year-old Robert Harvey, a Juta tour operator of Bogue Hill, was shot and killed when he went to meet with another man for the sale of a vehicle. According to Dr. Chang, the shooting reflects the availability of firearms in Montego Bay and the willingness of criminals to challenge the law at any time. Meanwhile, 3 suspected lottery scammers have been charged following a series of operations in Hanover and Westmoreland over the last 8 days. The multi-agency operation, which involved local and U.S. law enforcement, were carried out from May 10 to 18, resulting in the apprehension of the suspect and the seizure of several items. More than $10,000, a 2014 Toyota Mark X, and lottery scamming paraphernalia, including cellular phones, US-based bank cards, laptop computers, and assortment of financial documents were confiscated. Those charged are 31-year-old Dick Evans, a party promoter of Whitehall District in Westmoreland, 29-year-old Shane Blagrove, otherwise called Big Meech, of Prospect in Green Island, Hanover, and 37-year-old Shannon Taylor Christie, a bar operator of Flamstead in Kingsvale in Hanover. Former Scare Them crew member Boom Dynamite died yesterday morning in a hospital in the U.S. after suffering a relapse during his recovery from a terrible car accident in April that had left him bedridden. Boom Dynamite traveled to the U.S. on Saturday for treatment, but after he came off the plane, he said that he fainted. He started to foam at the mouth, so they rushed him to a hospital, and he died yesterday morning, a source said. The U.S. doctor said he had blood clots and all sorts of complications. He also had pneumonia, and the doctors also said that a lot of his medical issues seem to have been ignored wherever he has been treated at in Jamaica. And you know that's the reason why many people, when they get sick and they have a means to leave, they get out on a plane and head for the US because the health service in Jamaica is no good. The Clarendon police are probing the circumstances surrounding the death of a woman in Swansea on Friday afternoon, even as the parish is under a state of emergency. The deceased has been identified as Stephanie Gordon, a fruit vendor from Denby in Clarendon. According to the police, about 12:30 p.m., Gordon was at her stall when a lone gunman approached her and shot her several times. The gunman then robbed two other persons. He took a wallet from a man and a red Mitsubishi motor car from a female motorist, which he used to escape. On to sports. In the English Premier League, Manchester City have won the Premier League with a massive fanfare, beating Chelsea 1-0. The championship was won since last week after Arsenal, who was leading for most of the season, started to lose almost every game they played since last month, allowing City to pass them. So even if City did not win yesterday, they would still be the winner, as they were already leading by 5 points and could not be caught. On to NBA, Miami Heat totally destroyed the Boston Celtics last night and forced them to quit in the third quarter after a record lead of 30 points. Boston were forced to quit and pulled all their starters and used only bench players in the fourth quarter. It also did not help after Jimmy Butler knelt at center court, taunting Boston coach to take a timeout, and Max Strus, who was waived by Boston, he's now a star at Miami, he taunted Boston and both ended up receiving technical fouls. Butler and Bam did not play in the fourth quarter either, leaving newly developed Strus and Vincent to finish off Boston with a 128-102 win. The undrafted Heat players Vincent, Strus, Robinson, and Martin combined for 79 points. Now, with a 3-0 lead, it's only a matter of time that Miami will move on to the NBA Finals. Meanwhile, tonight, the LA Lakers, who are 3 games down, will try to pull one back against a very talented Denver Nuggets. If they cannot, then it's going to be lights out for LeBron James, and the LA Lakers will be going home. And if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.